Guys, we have big news. Big news.
I don't know if I want to tell them.
This is kind of a crazy day.
I can tell them.
Jenny?
I'm with child. Welcome back to another episode of Wonderfully Homemade. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Landis.
And today we are partnering up again with Local Farm OK, which is based in Tulsa. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, so Local Farm OK is a subscription-based grocery service. You can either get it weekly or bi-weekly. It's super easy on their website. You can get they have like a normal bag and a variety bag also, just to get a few other fun produce. But it's all locally grown produce, and they bring it right to your door, which is super easy.
It's awesome.
And it's a family-based company, which
yes.
is awesome.
Yes, so we love Local Farm OK, and if you're anywhere near Tulsa, they pretty much have you covered. So you can check online to see if your town is within their delivery region. But today, Landis and I have both of our bags, and we are so excited to show you a new recipe that we have been loving. It is a very summery squash soup with a Gruyere. Gruyere cheese. That's my guess. What's your guess? Gruyere.
Gruyere. That's what I said to the cheese guy. I said, "Can you give me some Gruyere?" And he showed me what it was.
And he said, absolutely.
So is the R silent?
Yeah, it's French. Everything's silent.
Do they say French?
Gruyere.
Gruyere. No, I think I was more right.
Gruyere.
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 Yeah, what were you
They
saying?
said the
You were
R.
saying Gruyere.
Okay, Gruyere, but you didn't say
Gruyere.
the R.
Gruyere. Gruyere.
That sounds like
That sounds
Gruyere
good.
to me.
Fancy French cheese, grilled cheese. That we're
Yes.
gonna have some poblano peppers in that, as long as cremini mushrooms. Be really, really fancy and fun.
And then also we are going to make carrot cake with fresh carrots, which will
Yep.
be fun. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of our little mix for a little summer recipe. And the soup is good because it's been super rainy here in Tulsa
Yes.
and kind of cold. We're hoping for better weather, but a nice warm soup sounds really good right now.
A perfect time to get these bags.
Let's get started.
We're gonna start out by chopping up all of our vegetables. So we're gonna be chopping up sweet potatoes, squash, and carrots to be roasted in the oven. So we'll tell you about it later.
Let's go.
So Landis and I just really, really roughly chopped a bunch of vegetables. Pretty much, I mean like pretty big chunks. Everything is just gonna be baked in the oven at 425 degrees for like 35 minutes. We're expecting it to take a little bit of time to cook for sure, so the big chunks is fine. But to give you a little frame reference of how much of each, we did about 2 of the carrots from the Local Farm OK bag, so a pretty like medium carrot. And then you're going for like about half a cup of white onion. We did 2 squash, I think, and so I would say we're going for like 5 cups or so of that, and then we just did 1 big sweet potato. And that's it.
We're now on to making our carrot cake cupcakes, actually. So we are going to start by...
We have 2 cups of flour.
and then we're going to add in, which we kind of just have all mixed in here, but this is your nutmeg, your cinnamon, your baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And we also have a little bit of ground ginger. So we're just going to whisk that in with the flour.
And this is pretty darn important, especially because you have baking soda and... Do we have baking soda and baking powder?
Both.
Yeah, so that is, if you don't know, going to react as soon as it gets wet. And so you want to like make sure that it's very evenly incorporated in your entire like dry ingredients, so that when that wet hits, it reacts accordingly, instead of having, you would have a very like lumpy cake, which we've all been there.
There's our flour and then all of our spices. And we're going to set that off to the side because we don't need this yet. And then we're going to go ahead and do our wet ingredients.
We're going to be putting our brown sugar and vanilla, our eggs, and then we're going to be using yogurt. So a couple of things that are maybe a little bit untraditional about how we're doing it. I opted to use some dark brown sugar because I know that it has molasses in it. Secondly, a lot of recipes call for applesauce, which I think also would add to the flavor factor really well. But really you just need that added wet texture, and so I'm using a very plain Greek yogurt just because that's what I have.
And then we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. Dark brown sugar.
Dark brown.
I love dark brown sugar.
Yeah.
Here's our half a cup of Greek yogurt, which we need a little scraping. So here's our half a cup of the Greek yogurt.
And then finally,
Big news.
I don't know if I want to tell them.
this is kind of a crazy day.
I don't know if I can tell them. I'm with child. It's true. I have 4 eggs in my pockets. You're gonna need to add
Jenny's
your
babies.
eggs, which have been chilling in the pocket of my apron because you want them to be room temperature. And so I don't know if we've talked about this on our Instagram, but this is definitely something we would address on there. But sometimes recipes call for the eggs to be at room temperature, and it sounds, at least to me, really like a kind of a strange request. You'll truly, it's if they were cold, which I rarely remember to take my eggs out of the fridge, which is why they're in my pocket, trying to kind of warm up a little bit. But really the only reason you need them at room temperature is to help with the baking time. It's quacky quacky! So we just finished mixing up our batter, but now I was kind of describing to Landis earlier, who had never made a carrot cake, that she's like, well, like, what do you do with the carrots? And I said, it's kind of like chocolate chips, which actually now that I think about it, it's a little bit depressing because it's carrots and not chocolate chips. But it's true, you add them in afterwards. So we are going to be taking, I have this many, I think this is the best way to describe it. This many carrots, but really if you're going for, you can totally buy like a shredded bag of carrots. We're looking for like 300 grams / 3 cups or so. Vegetables are just about roasted in the oven. They're actually, we've turned the oven completely off and they're just gonna kind of chill, I guess, which it's probably a 400-degree oven, so they're not really chilling, but they're gonna stay in there for a little bit. I've started to heat up the big pot that we're gonna be blending everything in. There is about 2 tablespoons of olive oil on the bottom of it, heating up right now, and I'm about to throw in 2 cloves of garlic. Stuff's yum. good scoop. Our mixture is kind of lightly simmering right now. I am going to add a half a cup of a whole milk. Any milk will really do. And then a fourth a cup of heavy cream. Using an immersion blender, we are going to mix this all up and get it to the consistency that we like. All the vegetables are really soft from roasting, so it's not going to be too bad. But at this point, just keep mixing until you have no more chunks. And if by the end of it you still feel like it's a little too thick for you, you can add any more of those liquids that you have left over.
We have chopped up all our vegetables for this, and we ended up just using one pretty large size mushroom, just one of the local Farm OK mushrooms, and then we have one of the large poblano peppers, and then we have half of an onion. So we're just going to go ahead and saute all of this in a nice amount of butter. 2 tablespoons of butter to be exact, but we're just going to do that. That looks great. So we forgot to put the thyme in the beginning, so we made it just a little well with the vegetables and put the thyme in the middle, which is totally fine because they're just kind of chilling on the edge. So there's our thyme and our garlic. Just grated a lot of cheese. This is Gruyere. So we have that grated, and we're going to add that into what we've been sauteing over here. So in a little bit we'll do that, but now we are going to toast our nice bread in just a handy dandy toaster oven. So I'm just going to take these out and pop them in for a little bit.
Okay, so we're about to load up our grilled cheeses with this beauty of a cheese combo.
We took the cupcakes out of the oven probably 30-45 minutes ago, and they are nice and cooled. They can always be colder, but they're great right now for going ahead and making our icing, and then we'll go ahead and ice them. So we are just going to use 8 ounces of cream cheese right here. Put that in, and then around 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm just going to eyeball it, look for consistency that you like. It should be pretty thick because you don't want it to just kind of fall off of your cupcake, but you can kind of eyeball that for however you want. So Jen just helped me finish up the icing. We ended up adding 1 stick of butter to help it be a little thicker. So we're just gonna use a spoon. And if you wanted to do this in an icing bag and pipe it on all pretty, you can, but we're just doing it for the taste. So we're just gonna do big black.
Whatever gets this into our mouths fast enough.
And that's it. So we're gonna ice the rest of these and then we'll be done. I've never had carrot cake before.
Have you never had it?
I don't think so.
Cheers.
I've always wanted to. Oh, look at that. Carrot in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit of carrot.
Ooh, okay, ready?
1, 2, 3.
I'm a fan.
You love it?
Mm-hmm. Very sad that she's not actually pregnant because I am.
Watch this video if you want me to have a baby.
Yeah, like this video if you want Jen to have a baby.
I want something easier. Have a nose if you want me to have a baby.
Be breathing.
Hey, that was genuinely delicious.
It was so yummy. We got to sit
Yeah.
and enjoy it, and it was so good.
I think we needed that.
I agree.
That was a good time.
That was a great, yes.
catch
And
up.
it was such a good soup. It was nice. It was a little bit chilly. and
Outside.
Outside, yeah.
Not the soup. Soup very warm.
The soup was warm, but it was a nice warm soup, but tasted very summery, so that was great. And all of the vegetables were amazing.
Yes.
So thank you so
especially
much.
the squash.
Yes. The squash, we noticed as we were cutting it was nice and firm, so just that quality produce that you really only get when it's
Yeah.
local.
And you could taste it.
Yes, for
That
sure.
squash was we both. As
We
soon
were
as
like,
we
you
tasted
cannot
it.
get this in a can.
Yeah. As soon as you tasted the soup, we didn't expect to taste the squash really at all because that's just normally kind of how the produce that we're used to is. But it was top notch,
Nice.
very flavorful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So thank you so much, Local Farm OK.
Yes.
We love getting the bags. It's so fun
Yeah.
to open new produce. And Jen was saying earlier too, what's so fun is someone that loves to cook, it's nice when you get new produce that you might not normally try. Like we had poblano peppers, and that might not be something that in the store I'd pick up, but it was the perfect addition to our grilled cheese. So stuff like that is so fun for trying out new produce, new recipes, stuff that you might not pick on your own, but when it's given to you and picked out, that's so fun. So thank you so much for that. We're gonna link Local Farm OK again in the description so that you guys can go and subscribe yourself. I mean,
if you get on board now, next week when we put another video out, you can follow along with your own bag.
yeah. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.